Hello, thank you for joining us today. We are HR Squared, and today we would like to talk about eGlobalServe's annual reports over the past 3 years, 2019 through 2021. This is what we will be covering today, so if you'd like to follow along.
We are Happy Relations Human Resource Consulting, also known as HR Squared. We are a human resource consulting firm located in Decorah, Iowa. Our main goal is to help our clients turn their human resource departments from cost centers into profit centers. We strive to give our clients the tools they need to strengthen every aspect of their performance. Our firm has many years of successful consulting experience, and we are committed to implementing not only our standard human resource strategies, but also to use our expertise to provide unique and accommodating solutions for every business situation. Now it's time to meet the team. I'm Andre.
I'm Ireland.
I'm Elijah.
And we are HR Squared.
And now it's time to get to know you. eGlobalServe. What really intrigued HR Squared about eGlobalServe was their focus on providing analysis for the education, healthcare, and sustainability fields. We're excited to help you increase your profitability and reach your goals within your organization by increasing and decreasing key performance indicators accordingly. As previously stated, we want to help turn your HR departments into profit centers instead of cost centers.
Now we will talk about the budget. So for 2019, we were given a budget of $1.3 million for 2019 and spent $1,237,000. Our budget went towards various programs, but none had a significant impact towards our goals for eGlobalServe. For those reasons, the money spent each quarter changed quite frequently, and the amounts put towards each KPI, key performance indicator, also changed each quarter. In 2020, we were given a budget of $1.4 million and spent $1,459,000. While this was over budget, we did have $63,000 left over from year one. In 2020, we started to see positive changes in each of our KPIs and more dramatic increases. This allowed us to stick to a similar budget each quarter and helped us to continually meet our key performance indicator goals. Some of the most dramatic changes occurred in our internal consulting projects, which happened due to unforeseen circumstances. Our budget for 2021 was $1.5 million, and we ended up spending $1,425,000. This left us with around $80,000 that were unspent. During 2021, we experienced significant changes in each key performance indicator, just as we did in 2020. We ended up using a lot of the same programs that were used in 2020, and this helped us to maximize eGlobalServe's measure of each key performance indicator. Our budget ended up being similar each quarter. Now we will move on to our key performance indicators. Our first one is in turnover. In 2018, eGlobalServe had a high turnover rate, and it has been our goal to decrease the rate each quarter. This figure shows how the turnover rates at eGlobalServe and other companies within the industry have been decreasing. We noticed our largest decreases for eGlobalServe in quarter 3 and 4 of 2020. So that led us to sticking to the decisions used in 2020. Some solutions that we found effective and led us towards meeting our KPI goals were the focused performance appraisals, flex time, fair selection process, and work sampling and assessment activities. So this first program focused on changing the way performance appraisals were conducted. By focusing performance appraisals on the impact of employees' work, we were able to satisfy our employees and create a less hostile work environment. This in turn has allowed the turnover rate to decrease. This program cost $30,000 and was tested in 2019, but then was implemented permanently at the end of 2020 through all quarters of 2021. Next, flex time also proved to contribute to the decreasing turnover rate by allowing employees with demanding schedules to still be able to comfortably work at eGlobalServe. This cost $50,000 starting at the end of 2020 through all of 2021. Another effective solution was the fair selection process. For this, eGlobalServe posted internally and externally when looking for new positions to be filled. This cost $25,000 in quarter 3 and 4 of 2020 through quarters 1 through 4 in 2021. This demonstrated the potential that all eGlobalServe employees had to get promoted. The last solution, which proved to be effective, was the Work Sampling and Assessment Activities Program. This program tested potential employees on their knowledge of industry trends in the 3 bands. This helped to ensure whether or not an employee would be a good fit at eGlobalServe, thus implying whether they would be able to stay at the company for a while or not. As you can see here, the largest decreases in turnover were seen in quarters 3 and 4 of 2020 through quarter 1 of 2021. Our next KPI is absenteeism. This is defined as an employee's intentional or repeated absence from work. This figure shows how absenteeism continually decreased over the past 3 years. Solutions that we found effective included, again, our focused performance appraisals, as this created a less hostile work environment and allowed employees to feel valued, which in turn allowed them to show up for work more days per the year. We also found that flex time contributed to this as well, because it allowed employees to adjust the start and end times of their core hours of the work day. And lastly, another program that we found effective in decreasing absenteeism was the stock program. This program incentivized employees by offering shares of stock on top of their fixed-based pay. With this program, employees felt more opportunities to earn more money at eGlobalServe and felt as though they were more valued. This program was introduced at the end of 2020 and was used all of 2021. As you can see here, the largest decrease in absenteeism was seen in quarter 1 of 2019 and quarter 4 of 2021.
Employee demographics, attitudes, cultures, expertise, skills, and talents are all examples of diversity. As you can see, our diversity performance has been trending up for the past 3 years and was just shy of our critical goal. In 2021, we have made the most improvement regarding diversity. Some effective solutions to keep this trend going up are stock programs, fair selection processes, and 3-band training. Stock programs incentivize employees by offering shares of stock, while the fair selection process is the action of job posting and selection process for transfer and promotions. The 3-band training allows all 3 bands of employees to receive training in all areas. As you can see, in the year 2020 in quarter 3 is when we decided to invest more in our diversity performance. We are glad to say that our money went to good use and let us see even better results. The term well-being relates to a person's internal states, which has an impact on their ability to perform at work. This graph shows how we surpassed our critical goal for well-being performance. Not only that, but another big trend beginning in quarter 3 of the year 2020. Some effective solutions we found to help our well-being performance are flex time and stock programs. As mentioned before, flex time allows employees to adjust start and end times of work days, and the stock programs allow employees to be rewarded with stocks options on top of their fixed base pay. This chart here shows when we invested only $90,000 in quarter 2 of 2020 compared to the $100,000 plus investments we were making for every single other quarter. We had the lowest amount of change in performance as well.
And another KPI is productivity, which refers to the employees' quantity and quality of work that they do, and it takes into account how long it takes and the amount of resources that are used to actually perform the work. This is looked at using an index that looks at the quantity and quality of the work, along with the billable hours and completed projects. And as you can see, over the past 3 years, the productivity has been steadily increasing. And then 3 effective solutions for productivity that we have implemented in our time were the focused performance appraisals, the fair selection process, and the 3-band training. The focused performance appraisal method cost $30,000 per quarter, and it used results-oriented appraisals that focus on the employee's work. The fair selection process was $25,000 per quarter and used the job posting and selection process for transfer and promotions. And lastly, the 3-band training was $75,000 per quarter and had all 3 bands of employees receive training in all different areas. And as you can see, over the past 3 years, productivity has steadily increased, and we have cut the gap between our productivity numbers and the critical numbers. And the last KPI, innovativeness, which refers to an employee's capacity to design and execute new ideas, enhance operations, and find new methods to handle consumer problems. It is measured by the amount of new and feasible ideas generated by a full-time employee in a certain amount of time. And this graph right here shows our innovativeness has been steadily trending up the past 3 years, and in 2021 we were finally able to surpass the critical stage. And an effective solution that we found for innovativeness was our work sampling and assessment activities that tested knowledge of the 3 bands. This program received positive feedback from the employees and helped to aid in the improvement of innovativeness in eGlobal Serve, and it cost $60,000. And this chart shows how vastly improved our ROI has become, especially recently. As you can see, the ROI from 2021 is vastly improved over the ROI from the previous years. And then next, we'll talk about the internal consulting projects, which are usually called ICPs. And it's really about how it affected eGlobal Serve's triple bottom line performance. The triple bottom line is a performance measure which shows eGlobal Serve's ability to serve its stakeholders. There are 3 components to the triple bottom line: social, environmental, and financial performance. Social performance is measured in terms of company integrity and community involvement. Environmental performance determines the sustainability of company practices, and financial performance is calculated as profit per full-time employee. The first ICP, sustainability, relates directly to eGlobal Serve's environmental impact. In this situation, employees were concerned with their frequent travel as the level of carbon emissions was quite high. HR Squared decided to offer a rebate incentive to all employees who purchased a hybrid vehicle. Unfortunately, this did not prove to be as successful as we hoped, so it did not have as large of an impact on the environmental performance as it could have, but it cost $50,000 in Q1 of 2020. The next ICP, or another example, is disaster planning. In 2021, an ICP surrounding disaster was brought to eGlobal Serve's attention. Employees felt it was necessary to be educated on how to proceed if disaster strikes at eGlobal Serve, and our solution was to provide disaster planning and training to help employees. They seemed to like this idea, and most decided they would attend training, and it cost $25,000 in Q2 of 2021. And the next ICP is the evaluation of HR programs, which was an internal consulting project that began with executives questioning costs within the department. HR Squared's solution was to have the HR department create and show calculations which really showed where the funds were actually going. This was positively received and has allowed tensions to be alleviated and a more flexible budget for the HR department. It actually cost $0 in Q3 of 2021 and had an impact on both the financial and social performance at eGlobalServe.
The next three internal consulting projects all had an impact on the financial performance of eGlobalServe. In 2021, employees had been having issues with each other as they were not as close-knit as they were in previous years. This ICP focuses on the organizational climate. HR Squared advised eGlobalServe to develop a task force between departments, which allowed them to come to a consensus on how to handle employee situations. This proved to be a successful project, and it brought the departments closer together and helped them to work more efficiently, therefore increasing the financial performance. This cost $20,000 in Q1 of 2021. The next ICP is gamification. Employees and managers felt it was necessary to introduce a game that would help employees with their job responsibilities. Our solution was to introduce an app designed to simulate work activities. The employees at eGlobalServe reacted well to this as it added a layer of competition and made work more enjoyable. By running scenarios in a game first, this saved eGlobalServe money and allowed them to profit more. This cost $70,000 in Q1 of 2019. The next ICP is recruitment sourcing effectiveness. In this project, eGlobalServe was looking for employees that would continue to grow with the company and continue to add value. HR Squared decided to implement a program that offered incentives to current employees for successfully referring candidates to eGlobalServe. Employees were thrilled with the decision as it positively impacted their productivity and in turn their profitability. This cost $6,500 in Q4 of 2021.
These next three ICPs are going to be really focusing on the social performance of eGlobalServe. So the first one we're going to talk about is cross-cultural partnership. eGlobalServe required assistance in expanding internationally in China, but possible business partners and staff were at odds. So our decision was to encourage eGlobalServe's employees to support one another. We received a positive response by employees showing us they were happy and ready to buy into the culture of empowerment. In Q4 of 2021, we spent $10,000 on this cross-cultural partnership. Our next ICP is our social media policy. This was implemented in Q1 of 2019 and cost us $10,000 as well. There was an issue of employees using their phones at work and complaining about eGlobalServe on their social media. Employees were given training on how to conduct themselves at work, and new procedures were implemented prohibiting employees from using social media during the work hours. Employees liked the training and thought it was an excellent method to deal with the past issues they were facing. Finally, our selection process was implemented in Q2 of the year 2020, and it cost us $64,000. A new industry manager was required for eGlobalServe, so we decided to hire an internal candidate. Employees were glad to see an inside employee promoted since it fueled their motivation and their cross-cultural partnership.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation and for allowing HR Squared to work with you over the last few years. It has been a pleasure watching eGlobalServe grow and position themselves positively in the industry. Thank you.